Hello and welcome to CHATIME. I'm your host, Kelly.
This week we visit St. George Pharmacy to learn about migraine. We also get to know about New Zealand Chinese Association. Linda tells us about the latest in women's hairstyles. And Neha shows us the correct ways of doing yogic breathing exercises.
The New Zealand Chinese Association began in 1935, and since then it has been serving the Chinese community right here in Aotearoa. We meet Kai to get to know more about this organisation.
The New Zealand Chinese Association has been serving the Chinese community for over 70 years and has 13 branches throughout the country.
Well, the latest form of the association was incorporated in 1935, and the thing was mainly to look after the welfare of the Chinese in New Zealand, but in particular they were there to help raise funds for the war effort against Japan, who had invaded China at that stage. So that became a focus of their, and right through the Second World War. After the end of the war, there was talk about people returning back to China, but of course that all stopped when the communists took over in the Civil War. So people were settled back in New Zealand. They originally came here as sojourners, which meant they wanted to build up their equity here and then go back and live in their homeland. But that all stopped once they had the Japanese War and then the Civil War. You might have heard that we had problems for many years as a strong anti-Chinese laws, including poll tax and others. So there's a whole history about that, which is too long to go into.
The New Zealand Chinese Association caters to the social, sporting and cultural needs of the Chinese community in New Zealand in a variety of ways.
Okay, the regular ones are that we have an Easter tournament. The Easter tournament is a sports and cultural tournament held every year between the four main centres in rotation. And the last one in Auckland, which was in 2008, we had about 1,000 competitors and you get about 1,000 supporters. So it's a pretty big event, and we play a wide range of sports, about 16 different sports, and we have a cultural activity as well, and also very strong social activities. So people really look forward to this event. Another one that we have is a winter camp, in which we try and get the local New Zealand Chinese youth to rediscover their heritage and discover what it is to be Chinese. Also we have Cantonese children classes, people aged from 4 to about 13 or 14, and that is to keep understanding their Cantonese language, which will be lost soon because Mandarin is so dominant. So we want to keep our heritage language thriving. Another one is that we have annual scholarships to encourage people to strive for excellence in education, which has always been a base philosophy of the Chinese traditions. And then locally we hold various cultural activities. We have a dance teacher which comes from Taiwan to keep people in traditional Chinese forms of art. And on the local front in Auckland, we have a regular women's group which meets monthly, and we have this senior lifestyle group which you've took some footage today, which is designed for the retired people who are not working full-time or are only working part-time. And then we've started a new one called the Leadership and Development Conference. Now this is to get youths of the age 18 to 30 to come in again, like our winter camp, to reconnect with their Chinese heritage and have some bonding. And as well as that, we have a lot of speakers from within the Chinese community and associated people. We've given talks about leadership qualities and all that. So it's got a dual purpose of trying to encourage leadership and also culture.
The New Zealand Chinese Association often holds conference in order to promote network building, leadership and development within the Chinese community.
Rising Dragons Soaring Bananas conference, yes, very successful. It was held the other weekend, 18th, 19th July. Okay, well, we've held 3 of these events previously, and we decided to do it so that we examine our identity and show how New Zealand Chinese have done well in many forms of pursuit and professions, despite the fact that we were unwanted aliens at a certain point in our history. And it's been very successful, but this year we held it in conjunction with the International Society of the Study of Chinese Overseas. And the reason we held another one was to showcase the New Zealand Chinese, what progress we made, how we're well integrated in society, and the contribution we can make both in New Zealand and on a global basis. So it really did highlight the progress that New Zealand Chinese have done.
Membership of the association is open to anyone of Chinese descent and also to non-Chinese who are married to someone of Chinese descent.
Well, they need to apply to join, and then they get the newsletter, and from the newsletter they know what activities they can join in. We have had a lot of recent migrants who can understand English because being bananas, we conduct most activities in English language. Whereas the recent migrants, there's Cantonese and there's Mandarin. So it's really the youth who have really joined up with us more, and they've joined in the Leadership and Development Conference and our Easter tournaments, and some have even gone to the winter camps to go back to China. So we're trying to build bridges with the new community. And I think one of the aims that we've put to ourselves in the Auckland branch is to integrate the recent migrants into New Zealand society quicker. That is our main aim, so that we're all kind of can contribute strongly to the new multicultural New Zealand.
Now, after the break, do you suffer from daily migraines? Yes? Well, you're in luck. St. George Pharmacy can show you all the ins and outs of migraines and, more importantly, how you can prevent them.